I thought I was all good. Hello, this is me, and I'm using my speech this time, my actual speech, which is not the best speech. My speech level in real life is probably like, I don't know. Are you rated? Rate it. Don't rate it. Please don't rate my speech level in the comments. I would probably give it like a two, maybe two and a half. I don't know. Probably one. Actually, now that I think about it, it is a one. Alright. It's it's 11 p.m. Usually I'm asleep this time. My voice is it's going. It seems like it's on its way out. I don't know why. It's because I'm coughing. uh I want to share a uh, I want to share something that happened to me yesterday, and I hope at least one person will take this message and be blessed by it, because that's what I'm hoping for when I'm when I do this video that I'm about to do. Right? And I'm just gonna jump right into it. Yesterday, I'm gonna be honest, okay? I don't usually go to church. I used to, but in the past, like, I don't know how many months it's been, I haven't been attending church because mainly there's some personal stuff that happened, and I have social anxiety. That's the main problem. I don't like being around people, but I love Jesus, and I have this conflict in my heart. Whenever I don't go to church, I feel horrible about it, and that's just the Holy Spirit working inside of me. But yesterday I went to church, and as I was getting ready for church, I was already ready. um, I was outside, and I was looking at the clouds, which is something that I do. During the day, I look at clouds, and at night, I look at the stars. So before church, I was looking at the clouds, and I had this random thought. It's gonna sound super random when I say it right now. I was thinking of Dark Magician. Yes, Dark Magician. The Yu-Gi-Oh card, Dark Magician. And I was thinking, I was thinking about it, and I was feeling very nostalgic. I had a pleasant feeling of nostalgia. And I was also thinking of how demonic it is right now that my eyes have been opened to the kingdom of darkness and how it works. Dark magician, right? If you look at him, if you look at him, clearly this man, it's a wizard, right? If you look at him, he's got this cone on his head. It's a cone. If you know witchcraft, it's called a cone of power. Wizards wear it, and he's also got a staff, and he is the dark magician. Clearly, this man is not working for the kingdom of light. He's probably working for the devil, whether he knows it or not. um, Now, that being said, uh, I was reading Isaiah in my quiet place outside, in my yard, on the grass, actually touching grass. Wow, Um, I was reading Isaiah, and Isaiah chapter 5, verse 20. I have it noted down right here. It says, "Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter." And as soon as I read this, I was like, man, it's not really a pleasant thing to read. It's kind of alarming. Like I was hoping that that's not me, because I was thinking of someone who's a sinner, but because he loves his sin so much, he convinces himself that sin is actually good, and righteousness, being righteous, striving to be righteous and not do sinful things, is bad, right? Um, so when I had that epiphany, I wasn't really far off, because later God would show me what it really means. And he showed me in a really cool way. And here's where Dark Magician comes in. um, so, okay, how do I start? It's my first time talking, guys. Give me a minute. Alright. How does Yu-Gi-Oh! Tie into this verse? Why is it a perfect example, right? Now, before I think y'all already know what's coming. Maybe not. Um, I love Yu-Gi-Oh! I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say that I love it. It's nostalgic for me. I grew up with Yu-Gi-Oh! Right? I used to watch it with my friend almost every day. We even used to play the card game. We didn't know how to play the card game, but we used to pretend like we knew how to play the card game, and it was fun. Even if we didn't know how to play, it was fun. um, and the anime we used to watch, that was really fun to watch back then. Um, but but I want to believe that it was not just me who felt this way about the anime growing up. I was like 8, 9 years old, going. I think I was like 9. Uh, when I used to watch Yu-Gi-Oh, there was something about it that really disturbed me as a child. Um, there was like a certain eeriness about Yu-Gi-Oh, something very morbid that I couldn't quite put my finger on, and I later only found out that it is really well. Growing up in South Africa, actually, these things, you see, Africans are very tuned into to the spiritual realm. So yeah, our parents, they didn't allow us to have these types of things like Pokemons. We couldn't even watch stuff like that on TV at times. Um, because there was also like what do you call this? There was rumors of children being choked in their sleep by these demons, these Pokemons. But there was even a rumor of a kid who died from being choked in his sleep by a Pokemon. I think that's baloney, because demons cannot kill a child. Come on. They don't have the authority to do that. But I don't think demons can even kill people. To be honest, they can't. They can't manifest to a point where they are actually causing harm to someone, to the point where this person is actually gonna die. You know, I do think that they can harm people, but not really. But only if they're practicing witchcraft, like only if they're cutting themselves and doing some really demonic stuff like that. And that's when the demons are allowed to come in because you're allowing it. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, back to what I was saying. Now, we loved Yu-Gi-Oh, right? We loved how cool Yugi's hair was. We loved Yugi's swag. We loved Joey's thick New York accent. We just loved everything about it. And because of all these cool stuff, we couldn't see what was really happening. Right in front of our eyes, there was witchcraft, demonic possession, idolatry, the worshipping of pagan gods. I think that's what Kaiba used to do, right, in his secret lab, didn't he? I can't remember. I think he used to commune with the gods, right? No? Okay. Now the point I'm trying to make is we refused to see how really demonic Yu-Gi-Oh was in a way, and this is the truth. We were willingly blinded by the beautiful art, the music,
it's time to duel!
and the voice acting. We refused to see what it truly was. The demon possession part, the main protagonist, Yugi. Yugi, right? A young boy who gives his mind and body to an ancient Egyptian pharaoh. Bro, how did that go by us? How did that not? That's a red flag. That's more than a red flag. A young boy being demon possessed, and that was totally okay with us. In fact, we thought that was so cool. We rooted for this person, right? Whenever he transformed, we were like, yeah! Yu-Gi-Oh! It's a game whereby both players summon monsters, aka demons. By the way, let's get back. Wait. Let's rewind. Let's just rewind back to Yami. I think his name is Yami, the guy who possesses the young boy, the main character Yugi. That is a demon. Okay, let me explain this, because there's people that don't know. When you die, this Yami. He's an ancient Egyptian pharaoh, right? He's dead, but he's still. What the show is trying to make you believe that his spirit is still alive and on the earth. When you die, you don't linger around. You're not gonna manifest into a ghost. You're not gonna just roam around and be like,
Whose toilet can I go into tonight?
no, you're dead, bro. Ecclesiastes, somewhere in Ecclesiastes, it says, the dead know nothing. Because when you die, you're either gonna go to hell or you're gonna go to heaven. Okay? Now, going back to the game where both players have to summon monsters, right? These cards, they're summoning these demons, right? And whoever loses gets banned or banished, as they say. They get banished to the Shadow Realm. Now, the Shadow Realm, right? to me as a Christian, and I believe to any other Christian, that should sound very familiar, because even when I didn't know about Matthew 8 verse 12, the shadow realm actually reminded me of hell. But let's go into the Bible now and see what Jesus says, because this actually reminds me of what Jesus says in Matthew 8 verse 12, which says here, but the sons of the kingdom will be cast out into outer darkness, where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. And the shadow realm in the anime is actually a place of torment. They're being tormented in this place. Doesn't that sound familiar? Now, they're not even trying to hide it at this point in the anime. I can go on and on about this, but let's go back to Isaiah and then I'll close. Woe unto those who call evil good and good evil. Whenever the Bible speaks of woe, usually that means judgment is coming. Woe unto those who call evil good and good evil. Although Yu-Gi-Oh was demonic, we loved it and we thought that it was good. Although Yugi was being possessed by a demon, we thought it was good. In fact, we waited in anticipation for that to happen. And as we continue on in the verse, who put darkness for light and light for darkness. Although the cards were demonic, we thought they were so cool. Everyone wanted Dark Magician because that was Yugi's signature card. We were blinded by how good they made evil look, hiding behind fake morals like the power of friendship. And that's how the kingdom of Satan works. This is how he deceives man to this day. The devil never shows up with a pair of hooves, 2 horns on his head, and a pitchfork. No. In Corinthians, it says he disguises himself as an angel of light. Power of friendship, my butt. Now, if you don't know who Jesus is, or if you're curious to know who he is, or if you're not sure if God exists, I want to tell you that God does exist and that he loves you immensely. He loves you so much that he gave his only son to die just for you. If you were the only one on the planet, he would have still gave up his only son just for you. And if you're curious to find out who or know more about this Jesus that loves you so much, I will leave 1 or 2 links in the description. Go ahead and watch those videos. That being said, I love you also. Peace. That's all I wanted to say. Peace out.